Hi, welcome to Lockdown series. Today we are joined by Caroline Way. She is the Student Advice Manager at Students Union. Hi, Caroline, how are you?
I'm fine, Anka. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for joining with us and thank you for your time. This session is mostly inclined on supporting students in mental health and bringing the awareness on its importance. So, we'd like to give any tips or advices for students and ARU community as a whole.
It's a big topic, I guess. I have had to think about this a bit before, and I suppose one thing to think about is that I'll be talking about probably my own experiences a bit about this COVID period and that kind of stuff. So I'm very aware that we're all in the same storm, essentially, the COVID storm. We're not all in the same boat. So for me, my general advice around this stuff has been about how I spend my individual days, really, not looking too far ahead, not being overwhelmed with what might happen next, but thinking about today and today's problems and facing each day at a time. And that for me looks like prioritizing different things. So having things I'm going to achieve in that day. It looks at how I'm going to have things that I enjoy each day as well. So rather than just going, I've got the to-do list is really long. Yes, you can put time in to do those things, but for me, it's also saying, I know myself. I know that I value time with other people. I value conversations that don't mean anything. Silly conversations where we're just talking about things that won't change the world, but that's hard in lockdown. So how do you have those? And for me, it's WhatsApp and that kind of stuff's been great. And I really think that one thing I'm aware of is that unless sometimes I'm proactive in things, so unless I reach out to other people, everyone's busy. Everyone's got things that get in the way of stuff. So I try and spend some time prioritizing getting my friends in my diary, whether that's right now we're allowed to do things like have a walk outside with one person. So can I have a walk with a friend at lunchtime, making that happen? Or can I just WhatsApp call somebody who I haven't spoken to for a long time? Or my team, we kind of spend our time chatting. So that for me is really important, just being a social being in the world and being part of a community. Sorry, you want to?
No, I was just like wondering, do you prefer any hobbies for your mental well-being?
So I'm really aware that for me, I need to get outside. Even if I can be really bad at doing this. So, winter, it's dark and it's a bit wet sometimes and I put it off, but I know that I always feel better if I get outside. So having a walk every day, trying to also prioritize the timing of that walk. So I don't love the dark. So actually, can I juggle my diary around a bit? So I'm doing it when it's nice and it's light and I can see the sky. I love the sky and seeing the enormity of, like, sometimes your problems feel very small when you look at how big nature is and how nature's continued in all of this. We've had seasons and we've had bird song and crops growing. And so for me, getting outside away from the kind of the Zoom and the computer and all the things that feel very immediate and very now sometimes, and just walking and feeling fresh air, the wind against your face, whatever. It seems very, I don't know, it matters to me getting outside. I've also taken up a bit of a hobby, I suppose, of DIY. So not in a big sledgehammer kind of way, but for me, again, in this time particularly, I've wanted to achieve things. I've wanted to have things that every day I can go, oh, I've progressed with that. So I've been getting paintbrushes out and doing that kind of stuff. So not a hobby as much as a kind of, I'm not very good at sitting still. I like to achieve things and maybe be distracted, I don't know, but I like being busy, and that's a good thing for me to feel busy with right now. And actually as well, I also like, I have been trying to bring nature inside a bit more. So going out on walks and, foraging. And when it was springtime, I was bringing in the elderflower, making elderflower cordial from that. And now I've been making kind of autumn leaf at the front door and just bringing in nature inside. So a hobby, I suppose it is, but yeah.
That's something interesting. Yeah. Thank you for that. Do you think, especially during this lockdown, students are a bit concerned about the challenges they are facing, especially because of confusion going around, or maybe related to academics there. So, do you have any advice for them specifically?
Yeah, I think so in the Student Union Advice Service, we are very rarely surprised by what people say to us. So I think I would always say, reach out to other people. If you're confused, there are people who do have the answers. There are things in place to support students. And I would really, really stress, don't hold on to things on your own. Like that old adage of a problem shared is a problem halved, or whatever it is. But, just somehow reaching out to people is a really important thing. There are, obviously, we have the Student Union Advice Service. There's student services who have money advice, and there's counselling and wellbeing, and there's international advice. So there are so many people out there whose job it is to offer support to students. So don't sit there. And I know for myself what I'm like. If I can really get myself in a tears, for want of a better word, if I just do it on my own. But reaching out, even that very action of reaching out, can be really releasing of all that kind of that worry. And there are people who have answers to your questions. So I would just encourage reaching out.
Thank you so much for this advice, and thank you so much for joining us. And it was really interesting to see your hobbies and the way you cope up with your mental health. And thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll be back again with another guest in the lockdown series. See you. Bye.
Bye.